Hi guys, it's the Duke and Sir Salverston Richard. I woke up this morning going through the things that I look at, came across the ESPN power rankings for this new week for the NHL. They have the Vegas Golden Knights as number one on the power rankings. An expansion team, the third power rankings, you have them as number one. Really? Now I take that two ways. Number one, it's just pure ecstasy. Especially from all the people that started saying, oh, how badly they're drafting. They could have gotten much. They got this guy. They could have gotten that guy. The McPhee is an idiot. They're going to... this is going to be the worst team in the history of the NHL. They'll be lucky to win 15 games. Heck, they'll be lucky to win 10 games. This might be the worst season in the history of any team in the NHL. Oh my God, some people can be such idiots. And even today, on a lot of the comment boards and stuff like that, it's McPhee's the worst GM in the history. He's terrible. Oh my God, we got idiots out there. But I will tell you this. ESPN can run a story to death. They always do it. It's just one of the things. When they think that it can get them some clicks, or it can get them some readership, or it can get them some viewership, they go ahead and run it because they think it'll be just fantastic. Remember how long they drew out the Tim Tebow stuff. Tim Tebow out of the NFL. Tim Tebow's probably not going to make it anywhere, but every time there was a possibility of Tim Tebow doing everything they would have, that would be the big story. And they did it for months until people were sick of Tim Tebow. Until people, well past the time people were sick of Tim Tebow. And when he went back and started in baseball, trying out in the minor leagues, oh my God, ESPN crews every game in that minor league system. ESPN, you gotta love them. And now they've got the Vegas Golden Knights, 6-1-0, the number one team in their power rankings. So yeah, on one part, I'm kind of giddy. Yeah, hey, Vegas Golden Knights doing fantastic. They are. They're proving all the doubters wrong. And it's just been a fun ride. But let's get real. Vegas Golden Knights are not the number one team in the league. And all the, well, not all the criticisms, but the knowledgeable criticisms about the Vegas Golden Knights and their start are all still valid. Okay? They have had the easiest schedule. It was designed that way. NHL brass wanted to make sure that starting a hockey team in the desert would have every chance to get a good start and to help build the beginning of what they're trying to build here in Las Vegas. They've only had one set of back-to-back games. That was at the start. On the road, they started with Dallas, beat Dallas, surprised Dallas, and their back-to-back game was the Phoenix Coyotes. And no one really saw this coming, but the Phoenix Coyotes have just been completely awful. They have been a tire fire, as some of the people have been talking about. They've just been awful all the way across the board. They have lost every single game they've played. I know, because the Vegas Golden Knights have beat them twice. Who have the Vegas Golden Knights beaten? Well, they've beaten the Coyotes twice. They've beaten Buffalo. They've beaten Boston, who've been struggling. They beat Dallas, who's been kind of up and down, while they adjust to Hitchcock's systems. They did beat St. Louis, although that was more of a steal than anything. They were dominated by St. Louis. St. Louis was calling the tune, but they stole it. They stole that game. But then they played Chicago yesterday. NHL royalty. Original six. Stanley Cup. Last couple of years. A couple of times. Roster filled with great talent in their prime. All-stars. And they beat Chicago. They didn't just beat them, they dominated Chicago. They were the better team on the ice that night. Did a fantastic job. All the way across the board. And they beat them with their number 3 goalie. Basically an AHL goalie. They beat them with that. And so now everyone's giddy and they're putting, oh, they're number 1. Please. Who'd they lose? Well, okay. They lost to the Detroit Red Wings, which is another team that's been kind of up and down. They've won some games, they've struggled with some games, so they haven't really been there. And of course, they beat them 6-3. Of course, they beat them 6-3 when the goalie, Marc-Andre Fleury, played the entire third period with a concussion and allowed Detroit 4 goals. Up until that time, before Marc-Andre Fleury got a knee to the head, got a concussion that was not detected, Golden Knights were winning 3-2 and were in control of the game until Detroit came back and scored 4 goals on a concussed Fleury. The only way anyone in the NHL has been able to defeat the Vegas Golden Knights so far this year is they played 20 minutes with a goalie with a concussion and gave up 4 goals. Think about that. Stuff it into your pipe and smoke it, as they say. So how good really are the Golden Knights? Well, the things that brought it together. First of all, the Golden Knights have done a fantastic job because they got the type of people they want. You know, all the idiots who are saying, oh, they could have gotten that guy, he's more talented, they got this one. You know, they were looking for a particular type of player. They were looking for a blue-collar, hard hat, let's get in and get it done, back check, forecheck, block shots, and get it done. And that's what they got. These guys are hard-working. Most of these guys are NHL players. They're not cast-offs. They're not AHL minor league players, wannabes. Most of these guys do have experience in the NHL. They're hard workers. They bought into Gallant's system. In fact, one of the big things that you keep hearing over and over and over again, it's a hard-working team. They keep their shape. They're a hard-working team and they keep their shape. Keep their shape, what do they mean? Well, they play very solid positional defensive. They don't get out of position. They don't allow you room. They're on you. They keep the pressure on you. They make you work. They make you make mistakes. And that's one of the reasons why they've had one of the best defenses in the league, is they do it. And not just 1 or 2 lines. It's not just, well, this is the defensive line and this is the scoring line. This is everybody does it, up and down the aisle. And everybody's scoring. And everybody's playing defense. And ESPN has them as the number 1 team. They're a good team. They're going to do some damage this year. I think they're not going to do as bad as many people fear. They're going to do much better than a lot of people hoped. They have a chance to make the playoffs. Won't do anything in the playoffs. They're not built that way. But this could be an interesting ride. But number 1, please, go Knights, go.